Oh, hello, it is I, Gomi, and we are back. Going to be continuing our coverage of UFC Orlando, Holland versus Wonderboy. Now going to be looking at the co-main event, one that is sure to be a banger, sure to be fireworks, and one I'm very excited for. This is going to be the welterweight bout between Bryan Barberena versus RDA. Yes, RDA is returning to welterweight. He has said himself that he has given up his title aspirations at lightweight and now he just wants to have fun fights. And that is goddamn what this is. Good choice, RDA. Good choice. So, both these guys are brawlers. RDA, I'd say, he's honestly more of a grappler, but make no mistakes. He will absolutely throw hands. He is absolutely a brawler when he needs to be. And judging by the fact that I don't think he really cares about winning for a title, I'm fairly certain he just wants to go out there and just bang nonstop. And I love it. I love the idea of that. Like, honestly, if these fighters are still good, not like Tony Ferguson territory where they're losing brain cells every fight, and they can still fight, but they probably can't win a title, throw them in fun fights. It's the same thing with Wonderboy and Holland, honestly. So enough about that. Let's get into this great matchup. Look at the tail of the tape. Bryan Barberena. He's going to be 33 years of age. He has a record of 18 wins, 8 losses, 11 KOs, 2 submissions, 6 foot in terms of height. He's going to be a southpaw. This is going to be a southpaw versus southpaw matchup. Very nice. 72.5-inch reach advantage, a takedown average of 0.16. He does not take people down. This fight, it might go to the ground. There's a good chance it could go to the ground, but a significant strike accuracy of 59.11%, and he's going to be a plus 380 underdog. Wow. That's a little harsh. Oh man. He boasts significant wins over Robbie Lawler, Matt Brown, and Jake Ellenberger. The Robbie Lawler, Matt Brown fights, by the way, amazing fights. Those were fight of the night each night, and highly recommend, if you have never watched Bryan Barberena, go watch just those 2 fights. There's also some other pretty good fights like he's been in that he's lost, like for example against Vicente Luque, but I still recommend watching those. Then, standing aside from him is going to be the legend, future UFC Hall of Famer, RDA, the former lightweight champion and former welterweight title contender. That's amazing. He's going to be 33 years of age, so he is older. He is a little bit older, but from what I've seen from his last fights, I don't think Father Time has fully caught up with him, but still, Father Time is undefeated. Remember that. He has a record of 31 wins and 14 losses. Oof. Yeah, that's a very high loss ratio, but we'll get into it why that's not horrible. Why it's not terrible. 5 knockouts. That's not that good. 10 submissions. He's going to be 5'8" in terms of height, so definitely a far shorter fighter. Southpaw stance as well. He has a 70-inch reach disadvantage. He has a 1.96 takedown average, a 54.58% significant strike accuracy. And then he is a minus 500 favorite. Oh man, this is not a fight you want to bet on, honestly. He has significant wins over Renato Moicano and Paul Felder. Keep in mind, those were at lightweight. And then some other significant wins related to this fight would be Robbie Lawler and Neil Magny, both those being at welterweight. So, let's break this down. Bam Bam. Bam Bam is a just bleed. He is absolutely a just bleed. What is a just bleed? Well, that is my affectionate term for people who just swing and bang. People who just want violence and just want bloodshed. Now, the thing about swing and bangs or just bleeds is that generally they don't get very far in terms of title contention. I'd say the most successful of all of them would be Dustin Poirier, but Dustin Poirier's never been a champion. He's only been interim champion. So Bryan Barberena is in that same boat, but he doesn't have an all-encompassing skill set, as you can see by his very, very low amount of takedown average. He has only attempted a whopping total of 8 takedowns and landed 2. but he has quite a significant amount of significant strikes attempted, good bit landed, good accuracy. He has a very high average of significant strikes landed per minute, so he's very accurate, which is very good for a swing and banger. And like I said, he's been in nothing but just wars through majority of his career. Particularly these two are some really insane wars that I recommend everybody watch. Bam Bam has lots of options of winning this though, despite how he seems just like a swing and bang. Because honestly, I feel RDA is going to come to this fight like how he did against Robbie Lawler. Swing and bang. I feel like he just RDA is just going to turn into a just bleed. And if that's the chance, Bryan Barberena has the power to knock him out. RDA is coming off a recent knockout to the other Rafael Fiziev. Now, losing to Fiziev is not bad whatsoever because Fiziev is good. He is extremely good, honestly underrated. He might be the dark horse of the lightweight division, to be honest with you. Like, it's between him or Dariush, who's the true dark horse of the lightweights. But yes, RDA is coming off a knockout to him, so he just got knocked out. So there is a chance his chin could be shot. Bam Bam could exploit that. He has a really good power right hand, and that I feel could crack RDA and take him out. But that's it. That's it. He just has to go out there and he has to out-brawl him. But RDA can out-brawl. He can out-wrestle. He can point strike. RDA is very, very skilled. He doesn't fit into one mold. Like, I feel he could do almost anything. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, excellent striking, excellent wrestling. Look what he did to Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano, he absolutely just controlled him the whole fight, beat him, brutalized him, whether it be on the feet, whether it be ground strikes, everything. Now, I will say Renato Moicano did start to kind of kick up the gear in the last couple rounds. I will say that, which is not the best showing on RDA's part, considering he was a super short notice fight. But Renato Moicano actually has a very good jab. I want to mention that. He has a very good jab, which can often disrupt RDA in his flow if you're able to keep him from teeing off on you with the jab, which could be a problem for RDA. Not something you're going to have to worry against Bam Bam. Bam Bam does not have a great jab. He's mainly hooks for days. RDA, though. Why? Now, I'm saying so much praise about him. I'm saying how good he is, how he's so powerful, and honestly, I feel he has a chance to win this fight. What is his problem? Why is his record look so bad? RDA, only second to Donald Cerrone, has had probably the hardest gauntlet of any fighter in the UFC. Now, if we're talking resumes, not just saying people he's beat, but people he has fought as a resume. He has, like I said, next to Donald Cerrone, he has the best resume of anyone in UFC, and nobody talks about this. Rafael Fiziev, Moicano, Paul Felder, Michael Chiesa, the welterweight champion, Leon Edwards. Keep in mind, he fought both lightweight and welterweight for years. Kevin Lee, the best 165er in the world. Kamaru Usman, the former welterweight champion and #1 pound for pound formerly. Colby Covington, Robbie Lawler, another former UFC champion. Neil Magny. Okay, here we go. Here's a tune-up fight for him. There we go. And then he went to prime Tony Ferguson, prime win streak Tony Ferguson. One of the only people he didn't finish in his gauntlet, by the way. Eddie Alvarez, Cowboy Cerrone, former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis. Oh, former lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez. Let's keep going. Nate Diaz, Benson Henderson, former lightweight champion. Okay, there we go. There's a tune-up fight. There's a Habib Nurmagomedov, former lightweight champion. Oh, Cowboy again. Okay, there's a tune-up fight, and that's where it ends. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that gauntlet he's been on? That absolute gauntlet. Like, just names for days. Just nothing but names. top talent, pound for pound. He's fought the best of the best. Nobody has the kind of level of experience that RDA has. Nobody's been through the gauntlet that RDA has. And the fact that he's been through this gauntlet and he is not getting knocked out, he's not getting knocked out. The only person who's knocked him out within the last couple years is Fiziev. Besides Fiziev, the last person to knock him out was Eddie Alvarez in 2016. 6 years ago. In 6 years, going against the insane gauntlet he's had, been knocked out twice. Eddie, by two very violent, accomplished knockout artists. RDA can swing and bang. He can go out there and he can swing and bang with Bryan Barberena. It could be a just bleed war. Or he could fight smart. And if it goes to the ground, there's no question in my mind RDA won't beat Barberena. He'll either beat the living piss out of him for 4 rounds, or he'll just submit him. Or he'll go out there and he'll swing and bang and put on a show for everyone. A fight I want you to watch by Robbie Lawler, or by RDA, is the Robbie Lawler fight. He teed off on Lawler. In, I believe, the second round, he unloaded at least a 20-hit combo, non-stop, flowing hooks, uppercuts, body, rips to the body, the amazing rips to the body, headshot. He just unloaded. He just threw everything in the kitchen sink at Robbie Lawler. Somehow didn't take him out because he has pillow fist. He's rather pillow fisted. Granted, short notice, but Paul Felder, another guy who's part of like a just bleed, in my opinion. Very, very good fighter. RDA handled him very well. Yes, short notice, but still he handled him very well. He controlled him on the ground. He beat him on the feet. Overall, like, RDA looks great in every fight he fights. Even his fight against Fiziev, he was looking great until Fiziev finally kind of caught him and he got wind of his strategy and got wind of how to fight him. He got a hold of his rhythm. One thing to mention about Bryan Barberena is his last fight against the immortal Matt Brown, one of the most dedicated knockout artists in all of UFC. I believe he's tied for second most knockouts. If he's not second, he's third. He took on Bam Bam, and Bam Bam was able to beat him, but it was a controversial split decision that honestly could have gone either way. One thing to mention about Matt Brown in that fight that he did to Bam Bam was the fact that he was able to control him on the ground. He was able to take him down relatively easily. He didn't control him very much necessarily, but he took him down very, very easily. So what makes you think RDA can't do the same? My man has 178 takedowns. He can take him down. Bam Bam does not have very good takedown defense at 56%. But like I said, I don't feel it's going to be that. I feel RDA's path to losing is he's going to go too overly just bleed, and he's really going to try and show the audience, hey guys, watch me fight. I may not be a champion, but watch me fight. Let me get that money. Give me those fancy fights. And honestly, of everyone that should get a Conor fight, yes, I'm talking about Conor mode. It's going to be brief. RDA deserves that Conor fight. He was the backup for Conor versus Dustin 3. Oh man, RDA deserves that fight, and RDA will beat the piss out of Conor, especially since he's moving out to welterweight. I feel that might be his plan. I feel like that might be what he wants because everybody wants that stupid payday. Disgusting, but you know what? If RDA is going to just keep putting out fun fights for us, I'll take it. I'm fine with it. I like watching RDA fight. I like the idea of him just going with non-stop bangers. After Barberena, win or lose, there's a few people he could fight. Who would be a good fight for him? A good fight that I'd actually like to see RDA take after Bam Bam would honestly be Jack Della Maddalena. That would be a fun fight. Jack is scary. Jack could absolutely take out RDA, but I feel it'd be a good banger. Overall, this is going to be a pretty exciting co-main event. I do not recommend you guys miss this UFC Orlando card. This has been Gomi. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, and if I didn't make it clear, I think RDA is going to win. Bye-bye.